Hello, welcome back to Fries Gaming. I'm Ben, and today we're continuing on Suzerain 2.0. So last time out, a whole bunch of stuff happened. Let's see, so we signed a smoking bill, and we dealt with a dispute between the Ministry of Interior and the military about the gendarmerie. We had a family dinner. We built a hospital. We signed a bill about, mandatory polio vaccinations. And I wouldn't doubt it if I missed something else, but that's alright. Anyway, so the very last thing we did was agree to go to the Watani Aschraf anniversary memorial thing, whatever exactly it is. So we're going to go do that. On our way to Erzurum, we stopped in Deer to meet with the new governor of Berja, Ishval Urson, to discuss the implementation of the autonomous zone. He welcomed us with great sympathy and care and wished us the best for the event. After a few hours' drive, we finally arrived in the ancient walled city of Suzerain. The city had been of particular importance to the Bludish people ever since the Ism incident and the death of Watani Aschraf over 2 decades ago. Today, we are here to commemorate the anniversary of those events. The ceremonies would be held in the aptly named Ism Square, several blocks away from Lake Sol and the sunken ruins of the village of Ism. We entered the historic center and the presidential Qiddiya. I gazed out its windows at the city's rundown buildings. Our convoy could barely fit through the narrow streets, disrupting local traffic and creating noisy chaos in the usually tranquil city. Pedestrians stared at us with concern as we and our security forces drove towards the square.
I must say this was a good decision, sir. After giving the Bludish autonomy, this will send a strong message that you are on their side.
I hope so.
If we play our cards right, I am certain. We're almost there. I can hear the crowd.
I heard the chants and shouting from the outside. Lucy leaned closer to the window, listening to their voices.
They seem to be chanting your name, sir. I believe they're happy with the new autonomy.
A large crowd had assembled in the square. There were probably at least 10,000 people. Our vehicle came to a stop. My driver exited the vehicle and opened the door for me. We were greeted by Mansoon Leek. He wore a coat over his suit, which was marked with the red and turquoise stripes of the Bludish movement's flag. He moved forward to greet us. Welcome to us, Mr. President. I don't remember his voice at all, but I don't care too much. We're going to do that. I held our clasped hands up so the crowd could see them. I heard some applause from the crowd.
Mr. Leek?
Mr. Galad, welcome. Shall we move on to the sanctuary then?
Let's go.
We made our way to the Erzurum sanctuary, which stood at the end of the square. A much smaller replica of the arch sanctuary in Deer, the ancient building had a mystical aura emanating from its blackened walls. We entered the building through the ornamented large metal gates. As we walked, the noise of the crowd faded out. Everyone fell silent for the ceremony. Thousands of candles were burning inside the sanctuary, one for each person that died in Ism. The red candle in the center was for Watani Aschraf. Mansoon gestured towards the candles. I picked up the red candle for Watani Aschraf. He also picked up a candle and started walking out. Many others followed suit, including us. The atmosphere outside had completely changed. Not a single noise came from the crowd. We slowly walked towards Aschraf's grave. On the way, hundreds of people joined us. When we arrived, he pointed at a huge standing torch above the grave. Let's see, if we're going for a unity message, let's light it together. We lit the torch together. I turned around and realized the sheer amount of people who were following us. They were all looking at me, waiting to hear what I would say. Brothers and sisters, we are here to mourn Watani Aschraf and many others who lost their lives. I am not standing before you today as president. I am standing here as one of you. Let's see here. 1 and 2 both look pretty good, but I think I'm gonna go with number 1. Seems a little bit more peaceful. Despite attempts to divide us, our people stand as one. We are Sword, we are Blood. We are all united under one flag. An old man from the crowd yelled,
He's right.
It's a religious ceremony, so we'll go with that one. We are all the same before God. Remember the words, love thy brothers and thy sisters. Mistakes were made. The innocent people of Ism paid the price, but we cannot let the past divide us. That sounds like a good unifying one. The responsibility falls on all of our shoulders, because we don't have anyone but each other. And let's go with the little Bludish phrase. Yolak Bluderat. There was no reaction from the crowd, only silence. The man soon leaned in closer to me. I must admit, Mr. President, that was a good speech. Thank you. He extended his hand to me for a handshake. Nah, we're gonna hug him. Instead of going for the handshake, I spread my arms and hugged him. Suddenly, the whole crowd erupted in applause. Thank you for this, Mr. President. I don't think the people of Urzen will ever forget this. You have become the first and only president brave enough to come to Urzen and pay respects to these victims. I hope this will be the start of a new era. Thank you. Lucian rushed over to me.
Sir, it's time to go.
We started making our way back to the convoy.
Well done, sir. This will prove very useful in the upcoming elections.
Time will tell. Lucian bowed his head. We entered our vehicles and started making our way back home from Urzen. Cool. Alright, let's see here. So, let's check the overview. Not sure what's going on here. Law, situation, reconciliation process. Oh, cool. Alright. We're attempting to reconcile with the Bludish population. That's good. Alright, we got one article here. From the Radical Brotherhood of the People. President Rain surprised the country with his attendance at the Aschraf anniversary. He joined the vigil alongside Mansoon Leek on the day Swordler remembers Sultani Aschraf. He delivered a heartfelt speech that resonated among the crowd. We hope his words won't just stay his words. Long live Brotherhood of the People. Cool. Alright, so I guess we're heading back to Holsword for another briefing on the current political situation. I walked to the White Room with a cup of coffee in my hand. My vice president has scheduled a meeting on the current political situation. I opened the door and entered the room. Gloria immediately stood up. Good morning, Mr. President. Good morning. I wanted to provide you with some quick updates on the current political situation. She pulled out a few documents from a briefcase and laid them on the table. Mr. Hall has reported to me that he is currently putting the finishing touches on his new economic plan. He said he wanted to solidify the plan before it's presented to you. He has scheduled a meeting soon to go over our options. Simon can pull it off, I'm sure. He's never failed me before. Mr. Hull knows what he's doing. I'm sure he will deliver as well. Moving on. She flipped the page. The changes you ordered to the Supreme Court have now been implemented. Mr. Ovid Gresser has now begun his duty as justice. He is a seasoned veteran with a career in law, spanning over 30 years. As a matter of fact, shortly after his appointment, the court selected Mr. Gresser as the new Chief Justice. This change should increase the trust in the capabilities of the Supreme Court. Can we trust him? I would. He's renowned for his impartiality. She closed the folder and put away the documents. That is all for the court updates. Next, it's time to talk about our election prospects. There's a sharp, soft knock on the door. I hope it's all right with you that I've invited Mr. Gallard to this portion of the meeting. It's like creepily perfect timing. He might actually literally just be standing behind the door waiting. Yeah, why wouldn't it be? No, I'm not sure. It's felt rather tense around here lately. I'll let him in. Gloria went to get the door. Lucian walked in.
Mr. President, Miss Vice President.
Oh, I did the exact opposite there. That's fine. If Lucian still resented my choice of vice president, he didn't show it. His tone is nothing but cordial and professional. The three of us sat down. Gloria handed out a new set of documents.
Mrs. Torrey, I'll let you take the lead on this.
Gladly, Mr. Gallard. I've just received the results of a voter poll commissioned by Fate of Action shortly before his, shall we say, departure. To put it in plain language, it's okay, but not amazing. We shouldn't take it for granted that we'll win this election. I never took it for granted. We still have a year to gain more votes, but we've got to think strategically.
Which, presumably, is why you've retained the services of your chief strategist.
You have something to add, Lucien?
No, pardon the interruption.
Gloria shuffles some pages around. In looking at the demographics of the voters polled, our support among Conservatives has plummeted. We can no longer count on their votes at all. The Liberal base appears divided, but you do have a considerable number of supporters there. For better or worse, you certainly aren't popular with nationalists. You've won over many fans on the left, the socialists are on your side. You also have the highest share of the Bludish vote of any Scottish president, you're even winning them away from the WPB. Lastly, centrist and affiliated voters appear to be leaning in our direction. Well, Lucien, what do you suggest? Lucien smiled and bowed his head slightly.
Thank you, Mr. President. This may sound like common sense, but a convincing enough campaign can succeed where policies fail. Even if you've opted not to focus on your campaign at the moment, I'd still advise you to seize every chance for exposure that you can.
I'll take that into account.
Good. One more thing. There is a not insignificant portion of undecided voters who don't care who occupies the Marin Palace as long as the economy is running smoothly. Mr. Hall's new plan could be key to winning them over. We must march towards a strong recovery.
It's all on Simon, then.
Partly, yes. Our country seems to be stable so far, but we should avoid further crises if we want to come out of this jump strong. There are some worrying news. Though the Berg group is up to something. My informants have been talking about frequent meetings happening between the oligarchs. This covers most of it.
Alright, Gloria, your thoughts? What do the Conservatives want? I will say that your actions against Saki Soul cost you a part of the base you won't be able to get back. Nothing towards Solism and future policies might help, or it might be too little too late. This Women's Rights Commission of yours, I did warn you against moving too fast to that front, giving women's rights activists everything they wanted at once, guaranteed to scare Conservatives off. I don't need to reiterate how much Conservatives hate your new friend Emmerich Hagel and keep on that eastward trajectory and you'll lose him for good. If all else fails, fall back on Solin's military might. I'm personally not a big fan of jingoism, but it works on certain segments of the base. I don't need to court Conservatives that badly. Anyway, that's my advice, for what it's worth. Great, that'll be it for today. You're both dismissed. Well, that was everything on my end, anyway. Good work, both of you.
I'll see you shortly.
I left the room to attend my next meeting. Cool, okay. Let's see. Got at least one report, so start with that one. Alright, from Suzerain, polio disease is controlled inside the Berger region. The Ministry of Health, Pascal Bennett-Wall, has submitted a heartening report. It states that the polio disease is controlled inside the Berger region. He stated that we had flattened the curve of infection within Berger, and with the mandatory vaccine, it will be hard for the disease to spread into other regions within the country. Fantastic. Okay, let's see. So we got a connection here. Oh, they're saying Ovid Gresser is now our new Chief Justice. Julio. State figures, Ovid Gresser. That's just the full thingy there. Organizations, governmental, Supreme Courts. Again, just saying Ovid Gresser's in charge now. A lot of ado about nothing there. And that appears to be the only new thing here. I don't know. Okay, cool. Let's see, we got 4 news articles. So let's start there. Or not start there, keep going there. Whatever. We're going to start with the Whole Sword Post. Ovid Gresser will be the next Chief Justice. The Supreme Court's 10 Supreme Justices will have a new leader as of tomorrow, Ovid Gresser, the experienced jurist who has previously served in the High Court of Appeals, Holsworth Court of Criminal Appeals, and Holsworth District Court, has been chosen by his colleagues to serve in the role of Chief Justice. Justice Gresser is one of the finest legal minds in Sordland, and his service on the High Court of Appeals has been exemplary. However, it is uncertain if he will be able to face the pressure in placing such a significant justice like Orso Hawker. And government-imposed mandatory vaccine policy. The administration has imposed that everyone in the country has to be vaccinated against the polio disease. The disease barely claimed more or less 1,000 people in Bergia. Why is it necessary for the whole country to spend our hard-earned rent for something that's nowhere near us? The disease is spreading from Valen to Bergia. It seems that those illegal immigrants from Valen not only caused chaos in our society, but also brought with them deadly diseases. As such, it is more than clear that the solution to this problem is to completely quarantine the entirety of Bergia and increase our border control. Instead, President Rain is forcing everyone to pay for something that we don't currently need. That's some really good short-term super racist thinking there. Gotta love the whole sword post. Alright. From Swordland today, Supreme Court elects Ovaggressor as their new chief. Justice Ovaggressor has been elected as the next Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Swordland by getting the majority support of the justices. He will succeed former Chief Justice Orso Hawker, who has served as Chief Justice since 1937. I am honored to be elected by my fellow colleagues, and I look forward to working with them on the important matters and decisions of this very important body, Justice Gresser in a statement. Cool. And from the Radical, the President's decisive action stops polio in its track. The polio disease, which is spreading wildly in Valen, has crossed over to the Bergia region. However, thanks to the administration's foresight, large quantities of vaccines have been secured and mandatory vaccine policy is implemented to combat the sickness. The Minister of Health, Pascal Benewell, has delivered a statement to compliment President Anton Rain on his decisive actions, which led to the ongoing preventative measures. I mean, I'd much rather take steps to prevent it before it spreads than waiting until after the fact to go, oh shit, we should have done something. Whatever. Anyway. Let's go to Volgan here. Apparently United Quintana is offering some sort of agricultural investments. So, United Quintana offers agricultural investment aid. Foreign Minister Otsin Nahuatl of United Quintana, backed by Chairman Leon Meleniev, that name I can never pronounce, has presented an expansive agricultural aid proposal to Swordland. This comprehensive package includes substantial financial investment, logistical assistance, and advanced farming equipment in Volgan's agricultural sector. Echoing the ambitious vision of Ministers Holomange, Quintana proposal dovetails with Swordland's industrial expansion plans, signaling a new era of agricultural prosperity. Obviously, we're going to take the aid, because that'll kickstart development in this region without us having spent a dime, which is fantastic. Alright, we've got another overview here. Agricultural and Industry Expansion Program, that's just a policy. Cool. We've got a report from Volgan. United Quintana fuels growth in Volgan's agricultural industry. Volgan's agricultural industry is experiencing a robust expansion, significantly aided by substantial investments from United Quintana. This foreign capital is fueling advancements in agricultural practices and technology, leading to increased production capabilities. Such support is not only bolstering the local economy, but also improving the positioning of Volgan as crucial players in Swordland's food security framework. Fantastic. Alright, we've got 3 articles here. So, first up from the Whole Sword Post, Quintana and Aid, a new era for Volgan and Gruni. With Foreign Minister Otsin Nahuatl and Chairman Leon Meleniev. Alright, I apparently can't pronounce Meleniev now either. That's good. Whatever, just Chairman Meleniev at its helm. United Quintana's agricultural aid proposal promises a new dawn for Volgan and the Gruni region. This commitment to bolster our agricultural sector could significantly benefit our rural communities. However, we must remain alert, ensuring that the spirit of this endeavor upholds Sword's interests above all, rather than being swayed by Quintana's strategic agendas. And from The Economists, a boon or burden for Volgan's agriculture. United Quintana's considerable agricultural aid proposal holds some promise, but it also brings with it a wave of questions. Could this be a game changer for our regional economy, or does it carry the risk of compromise of democracy? As we stand at the crossroads of agricultural prosperity and potential subjugation to foreign millennialist influence, we must scrutinize the details and implications of this proposal, steadfastly protecting our economic independence. I'm not going to argue that one too much. And from the Radical, Volgan's Agricultural Revolution, a Quintanan Lifeline. United Quintana, spearheaded by Foreign Minister Otsin Nahuatl and Chairman Meleniev, has extended an agricultural aid proposal that could revolutionize Volgan's farming industry. But as we welcome this potential lifeline, we must question if it's truly aid or just a maneuver to intertwine Swordish agriculture with Quintanan interests. The sovereignty of our agriculture sector is at stake, and we must ensure this aid serves our farmers, rather than simply sowing seeds of dependency on foreign entities. Cool. Alright. Let's back to Whole Sword for a question on industrial expansion. Sorry. Okay, so Minister Hole Manger prepared a massive industrial expansion plan that could support several key industries in the country through state investments. Swordsland could become much more competitive and a hub for new industries for this initiative. Alright, now I was really wanting to sign something, but holy crap, are these expensive? So, we're just not going to expand and hope the bonus down here in Grooney was enough to help us out. Alright, and that looks like it's the end of the churn as well. Oh, take back, that's the end of the chapter. Chapter 4, Checkmates. Awesome. Alright, you know what? It's a little short for right now. Or a little bit shorter than usual, I should say. But honestly, that feels like it's a good place to aim to go ahead and call it for today. So, we'll pick it up next time here. With the Women's Liberation Acts. But, until then, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you all next time.